Going. Hey guys, welcome back to the Bent on Better podcast with Matt, Nick, and Alysha. We are here, finally finished with the pandemic. Well, finally finished with the lockdown. We are reopened, and we are still doing this virtually since we are able to. But we are open, and we are excited to be back. And our members who have come back to us are super excited. But today, well, you know what? Before we get into it, guys, say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
I was ready just to roll right into it. I'm like, guys, we'll make this one quick today. So we thought it would be really cool to talk about something that's going to happen for a lot of people. It's getting back into your fitness, not how to get back into it, but what's going to happen now. So we're finishing up our week here as our first reopen week. We still have virtual sessions going on every day. We're doing streaming, we're doing virtual training, and we're also doing our in-person training. And there's a lot going on. And so we have lots of options for people. By the way, if you're looking to get back to the gym and you're in the Westchester area, we would love to have you. We have lots of space, lots of cleaning supplies, lots of safe, sanitary awesomeness for you to enjoy. So let me know. We are back in it though, and I think we want to talk about just what you're going to be feeling like now that you're back. And for a lot of people, it means back after having like 1, 2, 3 months of not really exercising and not really doing the kind of programming that we provide. So guys, let's kick it off. Who wants to start talking? Just start talking. Dive in.
Do you remember? I'm going to open up with that line. Do you remember what it felt like when you first lifted a weight? No. when you had your first really, really tough fitness routine, when you first started introducing strength training into your routine, that feeling the day after and the day after that, do you remember when you were questioning, did I just do what's right for my body? Did I hurt myself? Did I get myself in deeper than I thought I should? Guys, it's normal to have some of those thoughts recur now. Now that we're making our way back into the physical set, into the Bent on Better headquarters, into whatever gym facility that you're using, you're totally going to have those thoughts back up into your head. But remember, what's just as important with your strength training program: mobility, recovery, all these things that go paired up along with it. And I think probably for a lot of us, including ourselves here, there were times during lockdown where we maybe neglected it a little bit more than we should have. So it's just a matter of getting back into it, making sure that you're keeping up with that. Stretching is going to be huge as you start to make your way back into it. Stretching, stretch.
Yes. I would say, so Monday was the first day in 4 months that I used a barbell. And I have not stretched more in the last 4 months than I have in the last 3 days. So It's made such a difference.
It's huge. It's huge. Well, we talked about this before. I've had to make it my routine because we all, over the past 3 months, over 105 days, have been doing lots of training virtually, but also doing the workouts with our members for those bodyweight ones we were offering, in addition to the strength training that we would coach and train and watch. But we were doing things that we weren't used to doing on a regular thing because most of us, the 3 of us, had 3 days a week, 4 days a week max of our training programs, and having to do a 5th or 6th day and then also multiple times in a day. I needed to start stretching because I was feeling it in ways that I wasn't used to it, but also that I knew I had to take care of myself and not just wait for the pain to subside because of the recovery process. So yeah, that's super, super important.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pass to you guys. I'm going to mute you guys. Just keep doing your thing.
So I'm just trying to think here of things that have maybe come up over the last few days of people being back in and doing virtual at the same time. Nick, have you come across anyone with any particular areas that were more problematic, and did you give them certain things they could do? Or I think a question for a lot of people would be I do have pain, but I just don't know how to kind of target that particular area or whatever. Do you have any advice to give, if they do have a certain area that's problematic, what can they do? Who can they talk to, sort of thing?
Yeah. I mean, so when you're switching the equipment, so Alysha, you actually hit the nail on the head. Right before this, you said, I picked up a barbell for the first time in almost 105 days and it felt crazy. Well, the same idea is going to happen when you're even shifting your weight around a little bit from what you may be used to at home. I think the weights that you're using at home, you've probably burned your grip into them or worn down the grip on the dumbbells, whatever you've been using. or even the kettlebell for that matter, they have permanently imprinted your grip now. And so getting away from them, you're going to be like, wait, oh my gosh, what does this piece of equipment feel like again? And one of the greatest things about having a variety of equipment is that you can train your body to react differently to different stresses. So even though we have a weight that could be the same, we could have 100 pounds on a barbell versus 100 pounds on a kettlebell, two totally different ways to lift. Well, I wouldn't say completely different ways, but your body does react differently when you're lifting each of them. And so making sure that you are trying to keep up with the limits that you're imposing on your muscles and your joints in a barbell deadlift, for instance, versus a kettlebell deadlift are going to be completely different. And so stretching, again, going back to that, not to beat a dead horse here, guys, but if you are noticing limitations, if you feel blocked up, I think that's usually the most common response. I feel blocked. I feel limited, feel tight. Actually, tight's probably the more common word.
That is a huge word I've heard.
Yeah,
Stiff,
tight.
tight.
And is it necessarily tight? Is the muscle actually tight? Or maybe do we need to look at a more thorough warm-up of that area of your body? Or maybe we need to actually focus more time putting it into those end ranges of motion during that exercise with less weight, to expose it to that, to make sure that it's prepared to go into that motion before even introducing weight into the mix. Because why would you even go? It's like building a house on an unsturdy foundation. Make sure that the foundation is firm first with low weight to no weight before you really introduce those exercises.
That just brings back the point of how when people first come into our facility, when they're first meeting, and like, if you're listening to this and it's 3 years later that you've been with us, this is still true back then and like it is now. Now even more so though, because we actually know we've learned a lot over the years. We've developed, we've improved ourselves, and we want to make sure that we're continuing to improve you guys. The foundation is we want you to figure out how to move well, so that way you can move often. And if you go in that order of moving well to moving often, you can then start to change things up, because if you move often, you can have some more variety, which will then allow you to not only break up the basic stuff, even though the basics are the best way to do it. I say basic, I mean like doing just a squat instead of like squatting and jumping all over the place and throwing your hips in the air and all this stuff, right? Move well so you can move often. Move well so you can move often. And then when you can move often, you can bring on those kinds of results and changes you want to see. You can see the weight loss. You can feel the difference in your body fat and your toning and tightening and strengthening and feeling all the good stuff you want to feel. Move well so you can move often. And that comes with stretching. Stretching and mobility, right?
Yes.
Boom.
Jinx.
Don't forget stretching. And mobility, huge. But in order to do those things, in order to have the workouts you want to have and perform the way you want to, you also have to fuel your body right. So it's like staying hydrated, especially now. Right now it's summertime. So drinking enough water on a regular basis. If you're someone who's like, ugh, I hate water, it's disgusting, which was mind-blowing to me. But like, if you don't like water, then get some water enhancers and squirt some in your glass and drink that. Have water, not juice, not other things like teas and what. Water. Just go with water.
Guys, Matt, I know you do this a lot too. If you go to the store and you just pick up a couple lemons or even a couple limes, whatever, and you slice them up one day, you just spend 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever, slice them up, be safe, and then have them ready to go in a little container, a little Tupperware container in your fridge, and just plop one in or squeeze one in to your water glass. And always make sure that the water glass is filled up every time that you go back to it. Anytime you walk into your kitchen, have that full water glass and just squeeze a little lemon in there, a little lime. Instantly better. You're going to want to gulp that thing down and never look back.
Was that slice joke a dig at me? Because I'm always like snipping stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's cool because like it's also a really good way to get electrolytes into your diet, which sometimes we overlook. It's not just salt. It's not just putting salt on your food. It's actually coming from a lot of different minerals that you find in fruits like that and vegetables. So one of the really great ways to do it is squeeze a little lime or a little lemon juice in.
Yeah. And like, guys, we're so adamant about water, but I think bringing it back to the whole thing is when you're getting back into the gym, when you're back in your routine now, you've been in it, whether you're listening now and it's week 1 or it's week 2 or 3 or 4, getting back into a routine, whether it's after an injury or after a long hiatus, remember that your most important thing is just to show up. Doesn't matter where you were before. Doesn't matter what weight you were doing before. Doesn't matter how many jumping jacks or how many crazy whatever exercises you were doing before. That doesn't matter. And if you have a coach in your world and they're pushing you to push, and to lift the things you were doing before, whether it was 1 month or 2 months or 3 months ago, don't. Just listen to your body, take a step back, and realize that it's still just week 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, don't try to jump back into where you were in the past, because that 1, 2, or 3 month break will now end up having to be a 4, 5, 6 month break, because you're going to have something that happens that you don't want to have happen. So warm up well, stretch and recover well, drink lots of water, and progressively, if you're using weights or doing exercises, listen to your body and move through it. And get your sleep. You have to sleep. Sleep is how you make those changes. Make those changes real. Okay, wait, let me just step off my soapbox.
Woo! That was some
Oh,
heat.
that was a high soapbox.
I was really feeling that heat, man.
I can hop back on my soapbox for a bit here. Hold on.
Greatness.
For real. So, guys, I think we've really beat a dead horse here, but I think people will know how adamant and how much we love fitness and recovery and getting back into it. Any final thoughts or anything, other points that we want to discuss?
I'm good. You hit all the nails on the head, man.
Awesome. Well, if that's the last bit, we'll leave you guys with just a positive vibe. If you're watching our videos, we're giving you some positive vibes. We hope to see you all very soon. If you're looking to get back on a routine, if you need to change up your routine because of what you've been doing for a long time has not been giving you the results you want to have, reach out. If you have our numbers and you're watching or listening to this, text us. Let us know you're interested and come back in through and we'll take care of you. If you don't have our numbers and you're listening to this and you have no idea who we are, bentonbetter.com. Strong. That's right. Strong is sexy. That's right. I know. Right? Yeah. Strong is sexy.
Nick, no pressure.
Reach out.
I am strong. I'm sexy.
Okay.
Reach out. You can find us at bentonbetter.com. You can go on Google and just type in Benton Better. You can go on to Facebook and type in Benton Better, and you will find us, because we are the one and only Benton Better, and we are here to help you not only get back, but stay on track with your fitness and health goals. On that note, final note, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. We will see you all later. See ya.